me hear it for the Mayor of Defense, Johnny Mayer. And their opponents, ladies and gentlemen, the champions from earlier this year in Seattle, making themselves one of the teams to beat on the AVP Tour. And first up, the big fella out of Andover, Minnesota. The man who just rocks those performance goggles, baby. Let me see him say, yeah, I like them. Seriously, I need a pair. Let me hear it for Stafford Slick. And his partner, calm, cool, and collected. The most hilarious, sarcastic man I have ever met, ladies and gentlemen. He is the defender. He will cut it up out on the court. One of the most fun players to watch, has incredible form. Give it up for Billy Allen.
Stadium Court in Chicago. Casebeer, Mayer, Allen, and Slick. Quarterfinals. Kevin Barnett alongside Rich Lamborn. Welcome to a windy finish to the day here in downtown Chicago. Billy Allen with the swing there, and that'll go out off of John Mayer. Big win earlier today for Mayer and the Lorax. Rich Lamborn.
Over Phil and Nick. Newly crowned World Tour champions, Phil and Nick. The weather has shifted pretty significantly.
Yeah, this morning it was about 75 degrees and sunny, even hot when you were in the sun. Perfect day for volleyball. Wind blowing in one direction, basically right across the stadium. And then all of a sudden it switched, and now it's kind of coming up the lake, and it's gotten chilly.
To be expected in the Windy City, correct?
Definitely.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely. And changes in weather. When you're out here along the plains, anything can happen. That one out over the top. Mayer is there. Good idea, bad idea by Casebeer there.
I think it was the right idea, just probably not executed quite as well as he would have hoped. It looked like he had some open sand there. I love your announcer voice, by the way.
so turn it on.
Nice to be alongside a professional broadcaster.
Don't talk ill of Triborn that way.
Oh. Sorry, it's nice to be alongside another professional broadcaster. My apologies, Tri.
We're coming off of an M-Day Brittany Hochaver rally, but then not quite a win. That happened down here on Stadium Court just a few moments ago. Playing against Hughes and Clays. Hughes and Clays advancing.
Does that then become a Hughes and Clays carrot dangle?
Could be.
Depending on which side of the fence you're on that one.
It was another one of those matches that got down to the freeze and then went on forever. Shot there by Jeremy Casebeer.
People who try and conduct surveys of whether or not people like the freeze, I always tell them they've got to ask people and consider their results when frozen.
Oh, right.
Right? Because had Sarah and Kelly lost that after being up 14-11, their opinion would be tainted on the freeze, as a rule.
I'll tell you, from a spectator standpoint, I enjoy the freeze. I think it adds some intrigue, some strategy to the game, and it totally changes the complexion of the game, where volleyball, a complaint I've had for years and years, is that point one looks the same as the last point, wherever that finishes, 25, 30, 15, 7, whatever it may be. It always looks the same. And it adds a totally different element, because you can take more risk with the serve because you're going to get the let, or you can take a little bit more chances because you're not giving a point to the other team. I like the change.
I'm fascinated to see how it progresses from a psychological standpoint, because as it stands, the team that's ahead, for some reason, seems to psychologically be at a disadvantage. Even though they've scored real points to get themselves that lead and that match point, for some reason they seem to think that they're the ones that are going to have the difficulty closing with the final point as opposed to the people that are behind. And maybe it's a little bit of a, we're down, we have nothing to lose, let's go for it kind of a thing from the team that's behind. But as this continues in subsequent years, I'll be interested to see how people adjust and kind of improve at dealing with the freeze.
Well, so you have to ask yourself, if you're the team that was down and all of a sudden you rally, you get more aggressive, as there's a big aggressive swing at the net by Jeremy Casebeer. If you are the team that was down, then you get more aggressive and have success. Where was that aggression earlier in the match?
Correct. Correct.
Now look at this, Jeremy Casebeer on the replay here. He put on a very Phil-like performance against Phil and Nick earlier. A lot of that over on two. Totally impressed by the athleticism.
Yeah, he spends the offseason honing his game in Brazil, which has allowed him to take incredible strides, playing basically year-round.
Yeah, he's kind of the Bodhisattva of volleyball.
Yes. And one always has to question, is he flexing his abs? Oh no, that's just what they look like at rest.
Billy Allen had a resurgence this year, being Stafford Slick. Slick has that one go just by him. Already winners on tour once this season.
And Billy got a little spark last year winning in Seattle with Theo Brunner, then hopping on a plane and shortly thereafter uttering the phrase, when I asked him had he been to the Frankfurt airport before, he said, "This is the first time I've been out of the United States." To somewhere other than Mexico.
The flipper just long from Jeremy, and we are.
Line judge has a touch. Not sure how he saw that. It's going to get an
touch
overrule.
call, but it's getting waved off.
Not sure how that particular line judge is making that call.
Yeah, it would be behind the backhand from Jeremy Casebeer, but if you see the ball go up, if you do see it tick, you get the call. The interesting thing is when it does get waved off by the up official.
Speaking of the freeze, how's that towel working for you right now?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I came prepared for a nice day at the beach. I did not bring my parka.
You didn't know matches were going to run into 6 p.m.
I'm going to bring my Gore-Tex next time. We'll get a look at this here. So it happens here, coming back off the defense.
Of course, out of frame.
Ooh, possible inconclusive
touch.
there.
Hawkeye? Let's see what's going to happen here. All right.
And touch called.
Stafford might have given a, yeah, I touched it. In a show of sportsmanship, he doesn't seem too miffed, so it's more than likely.
Well, they raise him right there in Minnesota.
Apparently they protect their eyes as well.
See if the volley gods shine on Stafford Slick for his honesty. Soft touch, just in front of John Mayer. Most unassuming high-level professional beach volleyball player in the world, John Mayer.
He might be the most unassuming human being walking planet Earth. But yeah, particularly to play as well as he does and for as long as he's done it, unassuming is probably the perfect descriptor.
Over on two goes his partner, Jeremy Casebeer. Yeah, John Mayer, left-handed, former national champion with Pepperdine University, playing opposite at all of 6'1".
Played every position there, I believe, outside of libero. I think he was an outside for a time, set for them as well, just to show off his well-rounded skill set.
And nearly picking up a dig there. That's why he didn't play libero.
Yeah, I don't doubt that he could have done it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now the head coach of the beach program at Loyola Marymount.
After a successful stint head coaching at Santa Monica City Community College there, Santa Monica City College, added an extra C. We'll get a sand timeout. Get Jeremy cleaned up just a little bit.
That's full service. Typically, they hand you the towelette. This time, the up ref went ahead and cleaned them for Jeremy.
Casebeer down the line easily. Effective side out. Kevin Barnett alongside Rich Lamborn. If you just tuned in, quarterfinal men's action in Chicago. AVP Gold Series Chicago Championships. Final event of the 2017 season for the AVP.
For a spot in the semifinals, right? That's how quarterfinals work?
Generally speaking. John Mayer. Defense, here comes the lefty. High line is good. And his partner knew it as soon as it was contacted. Rich, what's on the schedule for most of these players after this? Somebody was asking me that earlier today in terms of international play.
There's only one significant international tournament left on the schedule, I think. It's a 3-star event in China. And I'm not entirely sure how many players are looking to go to that.
I think this guy's cheering for Jeremy Casebeer. Straight down, Stafford slick.
And the requisite boom sound effect from DJ Rouchet. That woke Mark Sherman up right there.
Did Mark remember to turn on his microphone this time? That's what I wonder. So 10-9 Casebeer Mayer. They'll receive serve. Working on John Mayer. Line wasn't there. Here comes Casebeer in transition. Soft straight down. Love the trajectory of that shot.
It's good too, because I think Billy was running around to the line, so anything other than that was getting scooped up. Really nicely seen and nicely executed by Jeremy Casebeer. Interesting weather and light patterns here in Chicago, because the sun kind of peeks through different buildings at different times, and so you get kind of rays of sunshine on Stadium Court here. Stafford tearing that one through the net.
And tearing his shirt off afterwards, apparently deciding his shirt is getting in his way, and that will end up in the crowd. Just short of the VIP section. Wonderful setup here in Chicago. Oak Street Beach, if you're not familiar, at the north end of Michigan Avenue. Michigan Avenue, one of the best shopping streets in all of the city. Place you'd want to spend some time. Wrigley Field, north of here, just a few miles as you go along the lake. So look at Billy Allen talking to Stafford Slick. Billy Allen of Kind of Good fame back in the day. There's a look. Lakeshore Drive and lovely strand-like atmosphere that they have now along the lake. Lots of people have an opportunity to get out and bike, hike, and walk. Because about a month and a half from now, you won't be able to do any of that here in Chicago. So you gotta get out and do it while you can.
It is nice to see all the activity, the cycling, the running, the rollerblading, the RC carring. No, I haven't seen that yet.
No. One-wheeling, perhaps.
The one-wheeling, yeah. I went to a place here the other day and a guy had one of those. That's a cool little
It's a fun
unit.
little toy. Yeah, I ride it to the gym every day, a couple miles down in the beach area.
You have the one with the huge thick wheel that can off-road and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Of course. Nerd City.
It's fully electric.
Yeah, fully electric. Go about 5 miles with me on it at 200 plus pounds.
Yeah, I technically 201 does count as 200 plus.
Billy Allen with the serve. Working on Jeremy Casebeer. Passes well off the net. Does not stop Casebeer from taking a big cut at it. He's had a few confidence swings, it looks like, just playing within rhythm of his own person, even when the ball is not in a good spot.
Right. Yeah, he's wildly athletic, and that's when he's at his best, when he's being aggressive and he's being physical and he's attacking the ball hard.
So 12-10 here, set one. Remember, 2 sets. 2:21, third set if needed. 2:15. A serve served up. And this seems to be the good side, which has been odd to me, Rich. Last match and now this match, most of the aces coming on this far side, even though the wind appears to be blowing behind that position.
The side that Casebeer and Mayer are on currently?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the flag, that's blowing basically behind Casebeer, but we've seen all the aces go in this direction. Soft wrist away, Stafford slick up high.
Those are absolute darts that Jeremy's unleashing from the end line. It's interesting how a team can be kind of one way generally, and then in the wind be completely different, better or worse, depending on the team, of course. But certainly Jeremy and John, a team that benefits from a little bit of the elements.
Soft pokey, Stafford slick. Attention on the turn.
Stafford's deceptively big, I find.
Agreed.
He's about 6'8". For some reason, you don't think of him as that big. I mean, that's not too far shy of Phil Dahlhauser.
John Mayer with a big swing. Somebody netted there, and it was John Mayer.
Looked that way on the follow through. He got it. So I think it allows Stafford to kind of almost pump fake people in the sense that he jumps early and he's still up high enough where he can swing at the ball and shoot like we saw on that soft little cut shot. He kind of gets you off the ground a little earlier than you should be. And due to his size, he can still execute.
And his size intimidating at the net for John Mayer that time as he misses wide. And we are now 14-13. Allen and Slick with the 1-point lead. Big guys like that, particularly when you talk about a guy like Phil Dahlhauser, it amazes me the angles that get hit. When Phil Dahlhauser hits a cut shot, it's more of a straight down cut shot. He's not putting any loft on it.
Right, that's an interesting point. Like, I think of it more of a trajectory type of a thing, right? The angles are certainly different, but also the trajectory they can put on a ball. You can have him lined up, and he could literally hit it the exact angle you're sitting in, but because of his trajectory, it'll bounce in front of you, for example.
Right, made a good read. You're in a great spot, except you're 3 feet back of where you need to be to get his shot.
Got to correct for the Dahlhauser correction.
14-14. It's all Kevin Hansen's on the board right now. And Billy Allen wrist away.
Nice. Nice. Not a nod to yourself, but another Kevin.
Another Kevin 14.
Another Kevin 14. I mean, that is the gold medal winning 14.
That's true. The one with any credibility whatsoever. Call was line. Angle was open hard. John Mayer with another kill. What do you do differently against a lefty? There are not too many of them out here.
No, they're not. I don't know, what did you think indoors? You almost had to do the same kind of stuff, but from half a step, maybe even a full step in.
You always had to will yourself to stop sooner than you thought was appropriate.
To
be on that arm. Wrist away, and there's another ace.
Just where he was planning on it going, right there, outside of the rope.
I like those when you don't make the cleanest of contact, but it's just enough to keep it in.
Jeremy's serve is definitely strong enough and enough of a weapon for his team that it's kind of like a Clay Stanley, where you have a team game plan for how you want to serve, except for Clay, who's just green light. You go back and club it. And I wouldn't be surprised if a similar tactic was employed by Casebeer and Mayer.
Big swing again from Jeremy Casebeer, this time on top of the net. Billy Allen was in the right spot, but could not scoop it up. 16-16, now 17-16. Slick takes a look down. Casebeer was dropping. Big swing. No, shot down the line. And it goes. A little change of pace that time. We've seen Jeremy Casebeer hit hard in a lot of those situations earlier today.
Really smart, too, because he was pretty well off the net and taking just enough of the speed off of that, allowed it to get kind of in that in-between zone on Stafford Slick, who was retreating. Unable to contact it cleanly.
So we'll be at 18-16.
What is your favorite Gwen Stefani song?
I got to go back to the No Doubt days.
Yeah.
College.
Just a Girl is my guess for you.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Spider Webs.
The fact you can name that many Gwen Stefani songs, Rich, has me with a few questions for you.
Hey, Anaheim.
Good look at the fans having a good time, and here's a shot of us. Oh, yeah, full towel.
There he
AVP
is.
towel trying to stay a little warm here in the booth. Rich smart enough to bring the camouflage. You can't even see him.
Is Kevin trying to stay warm, or is he just that much of a master of branding?
DJ Jeremy Rouchet down this way, controlling the action in his all-gold ensemble.
Our producer, Kelly Reed, trying to hide her face there momentarily.
Slick, high line, right hand to Mayer, comes up just short. We will go side change, 18-17. Casebeer's now picked up an ace in each of the last sides.
It is curious because standing up here in the tower, the wind's blowing directly in our face. So you would think that the side that Slick and Allen switched to would be the good side. But one of the nuances of playing on stadium court is you never know, based on the flags, what's happening above may be different than what's happening down at court level.
I have not seen a lot of wind. There's a block, but just out of bounds. I've not seen a lot of wind effects on center court all day long. It's been pretty minimal. The setting hasn't been all over the place. You haven't seen a good side, bad side necessarily. But it seems like when you have a stadium court like this, I've been to other tournaments as well, at big FIVB events where you go out of the center court and it's a totally different tournament.
Right, right.
Thinking of Florida earlier this year was that way.
Exactly.
Ace serve once again.
Right on the sideline yet again, so we'll give him credit for actually planning that.
This one sounded clean as we are now at set point.
Two's no longer a fluke, right?
That's right.
Yeah, a lot of credit goes to Josh Glazebrook and the Noosley crew who set these stadiums up for being wise enough to kind of shield the stadium court from a lot of the elements surrounding the court, blocking it off from Lake Michigan there.
Casebeer can't get enough of that one. Nice pass by Slick.
Stafford ripping away off the block to salvage.
Yeah, you still have a chance to come out tomorrow to Oak Street Beach. Wonderful beach, terrific sand, really not that deep, but a fine powder. Seems like it's good on the feet for everybody who's out there playing. Not a lot of rocks and other things. Had the jump zone going over that way. Lots of sponsors out.
There's a massage tent out there in case you get stressed out during quarterfinal action.
Casebeer shut down. Stafford Slick, serve and block. It's one of those plays where the defender just, hey, how about you serve the ball, take care of that, I'll cheer you on.
Right.
Let me give you a hand. A serve, and we're tied at 20, just like that.
Little strut from Stafford after that one too.
All Stafford Slick over the last couple of points, and now it'll be timeout, Casebeer and Mayer.
I was either a little pleased with myself on the timely ace strut, or Stafford was hearing "Staying Alive" by the Bee Gees in his own head.
Interesting, both these teams without coaches in the booth right now.
Johnny Mayer, much like Bill Russell,
Player
the
coach.
old Celtics player coach. Billy's still benefiting from the lingering effects of my tutelage last year. This is it. That's today's pinnacle of self-congratulations.
Cubs game going on earlier today. Just north of here along the lake shore. Lots of Cubby stuff all around. Always fun to see that.
Went to Wrigley for the first time ever a couple days ago.
Great place, huh?
It was awesome. It was really awesome. It was a rout by the Cubs, so that was fun because the energy was high and there were a bunch of home runs.
You mean the world champion Cubs?
The world champion Cubs, yeah.
Speaking
I had to
of-
teach Chicago native Kelly Reed that she was dead wrong about where Bartman was sitting. She was about 50 yards off.
Mayer just inside, gets it off the fingertips. And we'll have another set point for Casebeer and Mayer.
You tell me what you think about this. I consider that a bit of a service error in that they scored stuffing Casebeer, scored on the ace, of course, but then rolled that one into Johnny Mayer.
Yeah, I agree. You need to stick with what's been working. Oh, a little hands pulled down. Johnny Mayer is there for the set. No! Stafford slick. Again with the big wall at the net.
That was kind of the old school Stoklos-esque start wide, close your hands over the top, shut it down by Stafford there.
I saw Randy Stoklos out at Manhattan Beach for the finals, and he was telling me about how Ricardo Santos, the actual wall, was cramping up earlier in that tournament.
Yeah.
And how Randy himself had gone out and said, here, eat these mustard packets. If you eat yellow mustard, you will not cramp up anymore. And he said he came back, played great, credited the yellow mustard. I'm not sure there's any scientific proof of that.
So that story I'm going to title, Shockingly, Randy Stoklos gave himself an immense amount of credit.
Casebeer and Mayer, another set point coming up here. 22-21, a little overtime in the quarterfinals. Going to wrap up Saturday on Stadium Court. Of course, tomorrow will be live on NBC. You'll have the men's final. Myself alongside Kevin Wong and Dane Blanton. Another one skipped off the tape. And put through the hands. Boy, Stafford Slick has made some terrific passing efforts to save this set a couple of times.
And he seems to be a little extra energized at the end of this set here after saving his squad from the clutches of losing set number one.
Deuce is wild here in Chicago. Again, working on Mayer. And again, John Mayer with the side out. So as you pointed out earlier, Rich, the points for the rally were scored against Jeremy Casebeer, serving him, but they have not gone back, Allen and Slick, to serving Casebeer since that point.
Again, it's tough to tell sometimes if you're not down on court, maybe from the far side, serving the right side player is most advantageous, but
Billy Allen gets a serve. He goes high through the hands.
Nope,
called out of bounds. I thought there was a second contact there.
I thought there was a touch too.
Definite no call from Casebeer, and the first set goes the way of Casebeer and Mayer, 24-22. They're one set away from a berth into the semifinals.
It's a pretty high quality first set we got treated to right there. Tight the entire time. Never more than a 1 or 2 point advantage by either team, I don't remember.
Yes, that's right, ladies. People just clap for a referee for the
Now we'll have a
first time
little
ever.
entertainment with some of our referees here doing the bat spins. This is Mark's favorite thing, I think. Mark Sherman, in-stadium announcer for the AVP.
You guys ready? You guys ready for this? Suzanne, Katie, in 3,
Suzanne and Katie.
2, 1, go.
Katie's at the top of your screen there. Suzanne, lower portion of the screen. Oh boy.
I love the tape of one of the young competitors at this earlier this year running into the score, the ref stand on the way back.
How long until we're treated to somebody just projectile vomiting after they do this?
As soon as I have to do it.
Yeah.
That's when.
Oh boy. I feel like this is excessive spinning.
This is a lot of spinning. This is not going to work out well.
2 1/4, 2, 1, go.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
man.
Hey, Katie's
tracking
down.
sideways, tracking
Katie's down.
sideways.
Watch the pole, Suzanne.
Suzanne's
Oh.
going to make it back. Now she's got to serve it in.
Uh-oh.
Underhand,
too
probably a good
easy.
call.
Both of them go underhand. Both of them nail the serve. Suzanne's the winner.
And now they'll head to the medical tent.
Yeah. But they'll go get some of the vertigo medicine. That
Yeah, at least you get a high five from the folks that won the first set there, gentlemen. Mayer and Casebeer.
Yeah. Two great refs out here on the AVP, Katie and Suzanne. They both do international work as well on the World Tour. So they are well-traveled, well-liked, both just super genial ladies.
Suzanne's husband, also international referee.
Yeah, Keith. One of the tannest white men I've ever seen.
As opposed to me.
Yeah. You guys could get together and do a reprieve of Ebony and Ivory, I think.
Here we are underway. Set 2, quarterfinals, men's action. Kevin Barnett alongside Rich Lamborn. First set going to Casebeer and Mayer. Looked like they were going to close it out early, but ended up having to go overtime against Billy Allen and Stafford Slick.
A clean slate, Johnny and Jeremy. Looking to get out of here and go to dinner.
It's hard to find too many weak spots in either of these teams in this match thus far. Be interesting to see if either team cracks a little bit. Both sided out at a really high level. Of course, Jeremy and John were kind of in control there at the end of the first set, but Billy and Stafford charged back behind some strong serving from Stafford.
And blocking. Don't forget those couple stuff blocks. Now continuing to work on John Mayer. Stop for the moment. Here comes Casebeer. Cross court. Ripped into the sand.
It's always a good feeling to hit the ball so hard that it's audible to an entire stadium full of people. I mean, I'm speculating. I've never actually done that.
What it would be like. Fast set, Stafford Slick. That's a little shoot, almost a 3.
And that's one of the things you're going to see on display in this match for sure is some high-level hand setting from all 4 players. Membership's closed to Team J. Rich. Is that what you were asking? Sorry.
I was hopeful just for a moment.
National champion out of Pepperdine University. The 2015 MVP of the AVP.
It has been rather steady volleyball from both sides. Neither team really able to get away. Contrast that with Mayer and Casebeer's match earlier with Phil and Nick. They went up 1-0 and then had a big lead to start the second set. We watched Phil and Nick creep back and make a second set of it, make it a much closer match than it could have been.
I applaud the effort.
It's a ton of fun to face Phil and Nick in the contenders bracket for 7th place. Just ask my guys, Casey Patterson and Theo Brunner.
Also tied 3-4.
You guys seated 5th, came in 7th. Ed Ratledge and Eric Zahn finished there as well. Losers to Trevor Crabb and Sean Rosenthal. Still alive in this tournament, you do have Ryan Daugherty, John Hayden, Phil Dahlhauser, Nicholas Senna, Trevor Crabb and Sean Rosenthal, Taylor Crabb and Jake Gibb. And then the 4 players on court right now.
Nice eye, nice communication there from Mayer and Casebeer. Calling that one out. It was pretty close, but indeed it was out. Baby crack from Allen and Slick early in set 2 here? Or just better play from Casebeer Mayer?
Casebeer and Mayer have been pretty solid. There's another good solid serve. Good placement. The lefty.
Yeah, duh. That's the shoulder that's not taped up.
It's interesting to see players switch hands. I've seen Phil do it today. Actually, in warm-up, saw John Mayer do it. Go with the right hand and hit it pretty hard.
Well, you have Rosie, who's obviously kind of famous for being able to do that, who's legitimately ambidextrous. Madison McKibben.
John Mayer crawls and makes it happen. Can't come up with that one. Stafford Slick continues to unload on top of the tape.
Yeah, Madison McKibben, I believe, is right-handed, but something happened early on and he just started developing the left. So he's really, really proficient with both arms. That's fascinating.
Some sort of weird USC thing. Micah Christensen indoors, you see him serve right-handed.
Right.
But he actually would like to hit left-handed. You see him turn and hit left-handed at the net as a setter. Told me he had to learn to hit right-handed. His natural way is to hit left-handed.
Yeah, I'd like to do a case study on what was in the water, the island of Oahu, about 26, 27 years ago.
There's a remarkable amount of volleyball talent coming out of Hawaii.
You got the Shoji brothers, you got the aforementioned Micah Christensen, the McKibben brothers, the Crab brothers, Triborn, our beloved podcaster, not podcaster, but broadcaster, I should say.
Block covered. Back on top of the net is Slick. Scramble play. Allen is rejected.
What a scramble from Stanley Casebeer.
Man, the hustle level on Stadium Court right now is off the charts.
Well, throughout this tournament, I've noticed there have been a lot of tremendous number of excellent plays on the outer courts as well. Action all day on 3 courts outside Stadium Court. If you did not come down today, be sure and come down tomorrow. Strong jump serve. And even stronger at the net. I don't see a lot of over on 2 from Slick and Allen.
Now they'll throw it in on occasion. Very difficult when you're facing serves as strong as Jeremy Casebeer's, of course, but typically that's going to happen if you try and serve them short, or maybe if one player's feels they're in a bit of a rut.
Well, right side offense, John Mayer with the overhead set to Jeremy Casebeer. Jeremy Casebeer splitting time between Rio and the South Bay of Los Angeles. Affectionately known as the Lorax.
The Lorax. These 4 guys have 4 of the most adorable children as well. Catch Allen, Billy's son.
There's an attempted over on 2 from Slick, poked outside.
Shares hats with his dad. Full-size hat already at 2.5 years old. It's unbelievable.
He's on the Lloyd Ball program.
Yeah.
10-7 now, a little mini break for Casebeer and Mayer. About the biggest lead we've seen in this match. Allen with nobody up goes cross court easily.
What made me think of the kids was, you mentioned Casebeer spending time in Brazil. His wife, Maria Salgado, plays on tour here, and their son, Joaquim, is just like the happiest camper that there is. Adorable. He's in Chicago.
Well, he's living the life.
Cheering on mom and dad.
Chasing the endless summer. Off the head of Stafford Slick. Not sure if it caught any goggle.
Oh, it caught goggle. Let's see if we get a replay on that. Get a close-up look at goggle catching.
Amen, brother.
Oh, that caught all goggle.
That's all goggle.
They're padded.
That's actually when it's good to be wearing goggles versus a traditional pair of glasses.
The wannabe crew down here in the gold lame hats, that hit goggle so much that they felt it.
That's a whole crew out of Louisiana cheering on.
That's the
Jeremy
wannabe
Casebeer.
crew. Wake up, dress up, show up, Kevin Barnett.
Love it. They brought out their own gold gear to go with a gold performance thus far from Jeremy Casebeer. What's serving? 4-point lead, biggest of the match.
Such a helpless feeling at times, too, because it's not like Stafford's in a bad position. I mean, there's literally nothing you can do about a serve that strong.
Unusual look for beach volleyball right there. It's dark enough out that you can see the lights on the back of Jeremy Casebeer as he again goes with Everest away.
We'll take our technical timeout 12-9.
Technical timeout comes up here at 21.
I found more mini balls and I found some friends to help me out. So let's do this. Josh, Megs,
Thanks for being with us here on AVP.com. Don't forget, men's final live tomorrow at BC. Your final event of the summer here on the AVP Tour. What a summer it's been. Started out in Huntington Beach. Actually similar weather to right now, except with some rain, I think, on the last day for Huntington Beach, but it did not dampen the atmosphere or the start of the AVP season. Iconic locations: Seattle, San Francisco, New York. Of course, Southern California. Went back for Hermosa Beach, the first time in many years that the Hermosa Beach Open happened, and boy, did it happen. What a footprint, what an exceptional event and an explosion back into Hermosa Beach. And then most recently, the Manhattan Beach Open, the granddaddy of them all.
That was a great tournament, too. Just those South Bay crowds. I mean, they show up, they know and love the sport, and it's awesome.
Going to finish in what a lot of people don't know is another great volleyball town in Chicago. Outside of Southern California, the most events that have ever been held in AVP Tour history right here in Chicago. And the fans come out. Sponsor Village was hopping. Stadium Court all day has been packed.
Yeah, they come out in force. And like you mentioned, the sand is great here. There's lots of volleyball players in the area. They're knowledgeable. I've encountered a few already that mentioned the podcast that you and Jay Ruche do that I frequent from
I think we can say you do it.
Okay.
You showed up enough.
I need to overstep my bounds, but yeah, the Net Live get fans that, you know, people nice enough to mention that they listen and enjoy it.
Well, you think about some of the talent that's come out of here. Tom Hoff, native of Park Ridge, out of Wheaton, Illinois. Sean Rooney, who played on the AVP for years, as John Mayer caps off a terrific defensive effort. It's not all about his partner in the offense.
If you don't go, you'll never know. Or reverse that. You'll never know if you don't go. Great hustle effort to cover himself by Johnny Mayer there.
Mayer this time comes up just short, and it'll be 13-10.
Yeah, I mentioned Sean Rooney earlier, a teammate of Johnny Mayer at Pepperdine, two-time national champion and gold medalist from this area as well in Chicago.
Cross court, out of bounds, but a net violation will bail out John Mayer on that swing.
Percentage of the time that the blocker nets is the ball either dug or hit out of bounds. It's fascinating how frequently that happens. Such a dagger.
I always hated the overpass that the middle blocker hit and netted on. I got you the overpass. That was an easy play. I want to serve again. Speaking of serving again, and another ace for Jeremy Casebeer. That has been a huge factor in this match, his serving.
Double contact is called. Point to John and Jeremy. 14-10.
Now, Kevin Barnett, what's your favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and which one do you think Jeremy Casebeer swallowed?
I like Donatello.
Donatello?
Personally. Yeah, he's got cool weapons.
What are his weapons?
It's not. They're not sized, but they're the little like three-pronged forks, right? Is that Donatello? I think Leonardo has the stick, the staff. Somebody's going to fact check me on that for sure. Blocked by Jeremy Casebeer. Boy, it has just been steady volleyball and an extension of the lead now, 16-10. here in this second set.
And a timeout.
The consistency of Mayer and Casebeer paying off once again. They just kind of played at that same high level earlier when they took out Phil and Nick in the winner's bracket.
Yeah, it's not poor play from Stafford and Billy by any stretch. It's just kind of relentless power volleyball from Jeremy and John. And I also like to point to the play that we just saw a couple plays ago where John got blocked, made a sprawling effort to cover himself and put that ball away, because that would have taken us to, I believe, 14-12, 14-13, something like that, and now we're at 16-10 on the back of that effort and some strong serving from his partner, Jeremy Casebeer.
An opportunity. I'm being told that I'm, in fact, incorrect. I have to reverse the weapons there with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Donatello sticks, staff?
Donatello, oh no, yeah. Wait, let's check with the truck.
This is important.
Donatello uses the staff.
Donatello uses the staff, okay. And what are the three-pronged forks called?
I don't know what the name of those are. Angelo, okay.
Michelangelo?
Yeah, he's got the nunchucks.
Michelangelo nunchucks, Donatello staff,
Okay.
Leonardo
Raphael, size they're calling him.
Psy,
Yeah, size they're calling him. Size.
PSY?
I think a TH in there.
Oh, TSI. Psy, like that? Not the guy who sings Gangnam Style?
Yeah, it looks like a fork. They do. They look like forks. Double forks. I think that's what I said. Didn't I say Raphael was my favorite with the forks? I thought I got that right. I'll have to go roll the tape back. Can we get a Hawkeye replay on that, please?
Another bullet dodge there by Slick and Allen. Another bomb from the end line by Casebeer. Stafford handled it kind of medium, and Billy put up a great ball, and Stafford thumped it.
Seems like it's go time here for Allen and Slick to get a run, get back in this second set. They trail 1-0. There's an over on two, perfectly placed along the line.
That is also going to happen with more frequency when the blocker is serving, of course, because they've got that long run up.
I actually saw earlier, saw a switch from Phil and Nick. We saw Nick blocking with Phil starting to bomb the jump serve. As Billy Allen gets a nice swing there.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and refer to that as the we just won $100,000 last week tomfoolery hangover, if you will.
What a schedule they've had.
Because they did that in our match as well.
They had the Manhattan Open, followed by a trip to Germany and Hamburg. Another big high swing. Stafford Slick duking it out there with Jeremy Casebeer. Casebeer coming up with it. And now back here to Chicago for Phil and Nick. Dan Madden checking in, very upset. Again, reiterating, Raphael had the Psy. Donatello, he said he had a bow staff.
Okay.
And then following that up with a come on, bro.
Come on, bro.
So not happy with my lack of remembering on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Foot fault.
Foot fault. And we saw one of these earlier, too, in the earlier match from Casebeer.
Yeah, he takes a pretty long run up. There's a lot of space behind the end line, but
not quite as long as Kevin Wong used to take.
Not quite as long as Kevin Wong.
Tough line serve. Mayer cross court, dug up. Here comes Allen. Must have been a touch on the block by Slick. Touch that time, indeed, and in. All of the above, and another point for Casebeer Mayer.
So that's interesting what happened there. I think Billy and Stafford want a double called on Johnny Mayer there in transition. I think there was nothing wrong at all with that set, but Johnny's usually so perfect and pristine with his hands that looks, you know, you end up getting held to kind of the standard you set for yourself at times.
Right. Throw back down, and we will be at match point for Casebeer and Mayer. So the freeze occurs at 20-13, so it'll be serve to score. If you serve it off the top of the tape and it goes over, you'll get a replay off a let serve. but that will still be a side out for your opponent.
Miss is still a miss.
It'd be even better if you switch to a completely white ball.
It's like the money ball in the three-point contest.
That's right, yeah, because if you're going to go totally old school, then yeah, put the ball back white. Another one of those confident shots from Jeremy Casebeer. Just looks in rhythm when I've seen him all day today.
Yeah, this is as good as he's looked, and what a time to look this good, if not the AVP Championships. Final tournament of the year, third leg of the Gold Series. Everyone here shivering in their gold lame jackets, apparently not the warmest.
Well, for Jeremy Casebeer, is this the end of the season or is this his preseason? Which one is it as he heads off to Brazil?
This is his first tournament of the year?
That's right.
Goodness.
Another rip from Casebeer. And ripped through his hat by Slick.
Just unbridled power start to finish in that rally.
This is indoor volleyball outside. Like some sort of carnival trick.
Yeah.
Shoot the hat off the bearded man. Straight down block, Billy Allen at the net. A little switcheroo from Allen and Slick. Billy Allen is not small. Goes, what, about 6'5"?
Not quite that tall.
6'4"?
He's probably about 6'3"-ish. He's springy, though.
He played like he was 6'5" or 6'6" there. See if he stays again. He does indeed. Bad pass. And a shot straight to the end line from Casebeer. Johnny Mayer with another beautiful cleanup contact.
Yeah, this is certainly as good as I've seen Jeremy look, and kudos to him. Hard work paying off.
20-14, still a huge lead here inside out scoring as we went to the freeze at 20-13. I actually went to the freeze right at the end of the last match.
Yeah. 2 mini towels not doing much to abate the chill for you.
Need a stationary bike to ride during the broadcast, perhaps. Another block and another point for Allen and Slick. 20-15. What a rally this would be. Continue to score real points, old school style, while not giving even one away.
I would label this as soul crushing if they completed this comeback.
Still a ways from it with 5 points to go. Side out scoring. Slick takes a big jump, but Casebeer goes inside of him across court.
Somewhere here in town, Javi Dodd have to be going, we've come back from bigger deficits than this. Come on.
And whatever the score was by this point in the storytelling, it's at least 5 points bigger than the actual comeback ever was. Can the big serve get it done? Wrist away, just missed. But that has been a monster factor, especially in this second set by Jeremy Casebeer. Although, as you pointed out earlier, Rich, it's been done in a variety of ways. We've seen defense from Mayer. We've seen just all-out effort plays from Mayer. We've seen scramble choices from Casebeer in addition to the big serving. And a few blocks.
Yeah, we've really seen no dip whatsoever in their level since the beginning of this match. It was kind of a side-out battle the whole entire way in set number 1.
Match point again here. Shot wide, and that's it. Out of bounds, and that'll do it. Casebeer and Mayer moving on to the semis. Straight sets, 24-22, 21-15. Consistent high-level play.
It's what it takes out here, and that's what they showed us today. Congratulations to Johnny and Jeremy, and we'll see Billy and Stafford tomorrow in the contenders bracket. They live to fight another day.
And it will be another day. Things wrapping up. That'll do it for Saturday here at the AVP stop in Chicago. Gold Series, Chicago Championships. We'll have some quarterfinal action for you tomorrow on the men's and women's side, followed by semis and finals. Be sure to tune back into AVP.com. And also, NBC tomorrow for the men's final.
9 and 10 o'clock, we'll have 2 quarterfinal matchups.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Kevin Barnett and Rich Lamborn, all done.